Ever feel like you're stuck in a rut with no idea how to climb out? It's a sensation that can creep up on us, a feeling of being mired in mental mud. Perhaps you've become too accustomed to your daily routine, or you're lacking in inspiration, or maybe you're not seeing the progress you've been striving for. This sense of stagnation, of feeling stuck or unmotivated, is a universal experience. It's like walking through a thick fog where every direction looks the same, and it's all too easy to lose your bearings. It's important to remember that this is nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, it's a part of the human condition. We all hit these patches of life where we feel as though we're spinning our wheels, getting nowhere fast. But the good news is, there's a way out. Recognizing the problem is the first step towards overcoming it. So what exactly is this feeling of stagnation? It's that sense of being stuck in a rut, the feeling that you're running in place but not getting anywhere. It's like being in a car with the pedal to the metal, but the wheels just keep spinning without gaining any traction. Stagnation can manifest in many ways. It might be seen in your career, where despite your best efforts, you feel you're not advancing, or perhaps it's in your personal life, where each day seems to mimic the last, and you can't seem to break free from the monotony. Stagnation is the feeling of being on a treadmill, walking, or even running, but remaining in the same spot. But why is it important to overcome this state? Stagnation can be detrimental to both your personal and professional growth. It can stifle your creativity and dampen your spirit. It can lead to a lack of motivation and a decrease in productivity. It can even affect your mental health, leading to feelings of frustration, dissatisfaction, and even depression. However, it's crucial to remember that stagnation is not a permanent condition. It's not a dead end, but rather a sign that change is necessary. It's a call to action, a prompt to reassess your situation and make the necessary adjustments to move forward. It's the universe's way of telling you it's time for a change. Remember, stagnation is not a dead end, but a sign that change is necessary. Ready to break free from this standstill? Here are some steps you can take. The first one is setting clear goals. We often find ourselves stuck in a rut because we're unsure of our destination. So let's start here. What's your aim? Remember, it doesn't have to be monumental. It could be as simple as wanting to read more books or learn a new skill. The key is to make your goals specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This technique, known as setting SMART goals, helps create a clear path toward your objective. Now that you've set a clear goal, the next step is to seek inspiration. It's easy to feel like you're spinning your wheels when you're uninspired. So, how do you reignite that spark? Look around you. Inspiration can come from the most unexpected places. Read a book that challenges your thinking. Listen to a podcast on a topic you know nothing about. Watch a documentary that transports you to another world or time. Engage in conversations that push your boundaries. Surround yourself with people who motivate you to be better. Also, consider stepping outside of your comfort zone. Incorporate new experiences into your routine. This could mean trying a new workout, experimenting with a new recipe, or learning a new language. New experiences broaden your perspective, stimulate your senses, and can add a dash of excitement to your everyday life. Remember, overcoming stagnation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey of self-discovery and growth that takes patience and perseverance. So don't be hard on yourself if you don't see immediate results. Celebrate your small victories along the way. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. In the end, it's all about taking action. It's about making conscious decisions each day that align with your goals and values. It's about choosing to move forward, even when it feels uncomfortable, because it's in these moments of discomfort that we grow the most. Small steps can lead to big changes. Let's continue with more strategies to get you moving forward. Our next step in overcoming stagnation is building a supportive environment. You see, the environment you cultivate, be it at home, work, or even in your mind, has a profound effect on your progress. It's like trying to grow a beautiful garden in an arid desert. No matter how much you water the plants, they're not going to thrive unless the environment is conducive. So start by identifying any negative elements that may be causing stagnation. It could be a toxic friend, a cluttered workspace, or even a self-deprecating thought pattern. Once you've identified these elements, work on eliminating or transforming them into something positive. Surround yourself with people who inspire you. Organize your workspace for productivity. and replace any negative thoughts with positive affirmations. This brings us to our next step, practicing positive affirmations. It may sound cliché, but the power of positive thinking is real. Affirmations are positive statements that can help you challenge and overcome self-sabotaging and negative thoughts. When you repeatedly tell yourself something positive, your brain begins to accept it as truth. So instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I'm capable and resilient. I can overcome this." Make it a habit to start your day with a positive affirmation. Write it down, say it out loud, or even put it on a sticky note on your mirror. The more you see and say it, the more you'll start to believe it. Lastly, don't underestimate the value of seeking help from a mentor. A mentor can provide guidance, share experiences, and offer a fresh perspective that can help you navigate through your stagnation. They've been where you are and have come out the other side. Their wisdom and advice can be invaluable in helping you move forward. Remember, progress is a process. It's about taking small, consistent steps towards your goal. So create a supportive environment, practice positive affirmations, seek guidance from a mentor, and keep going. You're closer to overcoming stagnation than you think. Knowing the steps is one thing, but how do you put them into practice? That's the question we're tackling in this segment, and we're going to make it as simple and as actionable as possible. Firstly, it's important to realize that implementing these steps is not an overnight process. You're not going to wake up one morning feeling completely unstuck and full of motivation. It's a gradual process, and that's perfectly fine. The goal is not to rush the journey, but to make steady progress. Now let's talk about starting small. You don't have to dive headfirst into drastic changes. It's about taking one small step at a time. If one of your steps is to start a new hobby, for instance, start by dedicating just 10 minutes a day to it. If it's to start exercising, start with a short walk around the block. Small, manageable steps are less overwhelming and more likely to be maintained in the long run. Next, let's focus on consistency. It's not about how much you do in one day, but rather about what you do consistently over time. It's the little things you do every day that add up to big changes. So choose one or two steps to implement and stick with them. Consistency, not intensity, is the secret to long-term success. Lastly, don't forget about patience and perseverance. Overcoming stagnation is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you don't feel like you're making any progress. That's okay. It's part of the process. Remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. So be patient with yourself and keep going, even when it feels tough. In summary, start small, be consistent, and have patience. Remember, the goal is not to make huge leaps, but to make steady, consistent progress. It's about building a new lifestyle, one step at a time. And remember, every journey begins with a single step. Consistency is key to overcoming stagnation. Take one step at a time, stay consistent, and watch as you gradually move from feeling stuck to feeling motivated and energized. So, what have we learned about overcoming the feeling of being stuck? We've journeyed through a path of self-realization and self-improvement, shedding light on the often overlooked issue of mental stagnation. We began by identifying the problem, acknowledging that feeling stuck is not a sign of failure, but a signal that it's time for change. We then delved into understanding stagnation, exploring its roots and how it manifests in our lives. The realization that stagnation is not a permanent state, but a phase that we all experience can be a game changer. We've also laid out actionable steps to overcome this feeling of being stuck, from taking time for self-reflection and setting clear, achievable goals, to stepping out of our comfort zones and embracing change. Each of these steps, when practiced with dedication and consistency, can help us move past the feeling of stagnation and reignite our motivation. But remember, patience is key. Overcoming mental stagnation is not an overnight process. It's a journey that requires consistent effort and understanding. It's about slowly but surely moving in the direction of growth and progress, not rushing towards an imaginary finish line. And most importantly, it's about recognizing that we all have the power within us to overcome these feelings of being stuck and to create positive change in our lives. Remember, it's not about where you are, but the direction you're moving in. Keep going.